ILLINI. All right, our Illini to the Elite Eight. So, just like I said, I knew it. Iowa State, they thrive off points off turnovers. If you can negate that, you'll win the game because their offense isn't very good. And that's exactly what happened. So when you look at these stats, you're going to say, how did they lose? I'm going to show you because this is what Iowa State is all about. So we look at the field goal percentage, 42-39. Three-pointers, 9 out of 29, 31%. That's horrible. 6 out of 13, 46%. That's great. 15 out of 29 from the free throw line, 51%. 17 out of 21, 81%. So you look at that, you say, how did Iowa State lose? How? Well, let's keep going. Turnovers, 12 for Illinois, 9 for them. Points off turnovers, only 5. Last game, Iowa State had 21 points off turnovers. That's how they won the game. That's how they win their games. They win with points off turnovers. Illinois holds them to only 5. Illinois gets 6. Illinois outscores them in turnover points. That is the difference in the game. Iowa State's offense, pathetic. They missed so many layups. Illinois couldn't make a free throw, struggled to make a three. They missed plenty of layups. Terrence Shannon Jr. in foul trouble. It was an ugly game, but Illinois did enough to win. All right, Ty Rodgers, 4.6 rebounds. Quincy, 5 and 5. When Dane was in that game, he had those 2 turnovers and then another turnover later. Dane was causing me personal health problems. I guess he had no faith in Quincy. Didn't want to put him back in the game unless he fouled out. I don't know. But Dane, he about killed me. Coleman, 12 points, 6 rebounds, played defense. He did what he could. Marcus facing a trapping team. That's his kryptonite, but he got 7, 5, and 6. 2 out of 11 from the floor. Like I said, you double him all game, you shut him down. Shannon Jr., 10 out of 19. His free throw shooting, horrible. But 29 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and played in foul trouble. That was huge, huge. But we still overcame it. We overcame the referees. We overcame the foul trouble with Shannon Jr., and we win. What's the former coach's, Stan Van Gundy, when he said that Jerry Sloan had a saying, just keep fouling because they can't call them all. In Iowa State, they live that slogan. Keep fouling because they can't call them all. And that's what Iowa State did. But Illinois overcame that. Dane, 7 and 6. 3 turnovers, 3 huge turnovers that could have cost us the game. Harmon continues to be worthless. Gibbs played a little bit. Goody, 8 huge points, 2 for 2 from the free throw line, 2 out of 5 from 3. We needed every single one of those 8 points. So at this point in time, you're in the tournament. It doesn't matter. You just have to win. However it gets done, you get it done. Thankfully, UConn doesn't play a trapping defense like Iowa State. So Marcus he'll play a lot better. He'll have the freedom to play a lot better. Terrence will just have to be very careful. If they're going to call fouls on him in a tournament like this, he's got to be very careful. Hopefully Quincy can bounce back and give us the production he was giving us for much of the year. And hopefully this will spark Goody to have even more confidence and to even play even better than he did tonight, which I know he can. He just has to do it. Harmon, he needs to look in the mirror. This is it for you. This is literally it. Is this how you want to go out? Harmon's got to do some soul searching. Same thing with Quincy. Quincy has to look in the mirror. Is this how he wants to go? Is this how he wants it? He's supposed to be on the bench while Dane's out there committing turnovers and missing free throws. Is that what he wants to do? He's got to soul search and go out there and be productive like we know he can. So I'm proud of this team. You know, anytime your best player is in foul trouble and he has to sit for a while, a lot of teams would fold under that. But they didn't. Iowa State, their offense is pathetic, couldn't make layups, and Illinois took advantage of that. They got a little bit drunk on three, and you don't want to see that. But those free throws, you got to make them. You know, Terrence, 5 out of 10, that's just horrible. Absolutely horrible. But Illinois survives, and Iowa State, they're like a soccer team or a hockey team that offensively isn't very good. So they put everything on defense, hoping you do a turnover and benefit from it. And the bottom line is, like I said, only 5 points off turnovers for Iowa State, and that's your ball game. That's the bottom line. Illinois does get outscored in the second half, but that's what happens when Terrence Shannon Jr. is in foul trouble, sitting on the bench. Now, we move on to UConn. Everybody keeps telling me that UConn is the best team, that UConn is going to win it all. It's a foregone conclusion, but the Illini will have something to say about that. Illinois is going to beat UConn because Illinois is going to win a national championship, and that is what I believe. So get excited because our Illini are going to be cutting down the nets. North Carolina goes down to Alabama. Arizona goes down to Clemson. Illinois, they beat UConn. They're looking real good for that national championship. Next game is the biggest game of the year up to this point, not just because it's the Elite Eight, but it's because the favorite, UConn. They are the clear-cut favorite. All the money is on them. This is the big one. If you can beat them, you can beat anyone. So, huge game. All right, this game, very tense, very emotional. There were highs, there were lows, there were frustrations. I'm sure many of you were cursing out the referees. Seeing Terrence Shannon on the bench with foul trouble and seeing no one able to score for the majority of that time, extremely frustrating. Just a heck of a game. But Illinois wins. So I'm sure the players are excited. I know Coach Underwood is very excited. He was crying after finally making it to the Sweet 16. And now going to the Elite Eight, I'm sure he's crying again in the locker room. And he deserves it. The players deserve it. So celebration and then move on to the next game. But I'm proud of this team. They overcame the referees. They overcame Terrence Shannon's foul trouble. They overcame their pathetic free throw shooting, three-point shooting. And they did not allow Iowa State to live off turnover points. That was the key to this game. I'll say it again. The key to this game was the points from turnovers. Last game, 21 for Iowa State. Anytime they win, they get 20 turnover points. Illinois held them to 5. That's your ball game. All right, guys. How excited are you? Let me know in the comments. And, guys, it's going to be emotional. When Illinois wins that national championship, It's going to be the most emotional time in any Illini basketball fan's life. I'm telling you guys, because we always hoped it would happen. We thought it would happen, but it hasn't happened. And for it to finally come to fruition, it's going to be emotional. Tears are going to fall. I promise you that. And I'm sure, hey, just like me, I'm sure some of you have loved ones that were in your life, huge Illini fans, and they're not here with us. And I'm sure you're thinking about them, how excited they would be to be watching this Illini team going to the Elite Eight. So it's a very emotional times, and they can do it. This team can win it all. They really can. UConn is the big one. Basically, that's the national championship. In my opinion, Illinois UConn is the national championship. Illinois wins that game. There's an easier game to be had after that. So they just got to do it. And last thing I'll say, Terrence Shannon Jr. is not third team All-American. He's first team. And not only that, he's the player of the year. And I don't care what anyone says. Terrence Shannon Jr. is the player of the year. He's first team All-American, first team All-Tournament, the MVP of the tournament, and I don't care what anyone says. He is the MVP, period. And Terrence Shannon, to see him do what he's doing this year, it would have been easy for him to try to please the NBA, try to become an exclusive three-point shooter, but he knew what he was best at. That's getting that ball and going to the rim. So I'm so proud of Terrence Shannon Jr., doing what he's best at. And that has led him to being the MVP in college basketball. He truly is the best player. So let me know your thoughts in the comments.